Today, we're going to be going over the push-up and everything involved in the push-up, different variations, how you should be doing it, scaling, training, everything you need to know. So, the first thing that we're going to go over with push-up is the hand position, and the body position. But specifically, the hand position is something that gets mixed up pretty often. So this is just what we look for on all the camps and academies and what we prescribe. So with the hand position, if I'm in that plank position, what I want to look for is I want to look for either my middle fingers pointing straight forward or my pointer fingers pointing straight forward. So if you look, it's not that big of a difference, okay? But I'm not internally rotating. So one of the biggest issues we see is we see a lot of people come into our camps, a lot of people getting shoulder injuries, or they're just not able to do a whole lot of push-ups, but they're trying to do them with their elbows out to the side, hands internally rotated like this. All right, so that's the first thing that we'd fix. Your feet are going to be together, and you're going to be on your toes. Now, in that position, if you cannot hold that position for 30 seconds in a nice plank, where if I should be able to lay a PVC pipe from your head down to your heels, nice plank position, if you can't hold that, then you should start on the scaling methods that we're going to go over in a little while. There's a big difference between holding a plank position with a tight core, squeezing your butt, squeezing your core, holding that position, and letting your hips drop. So that's another big thing that we see is people get lazy or they've just never trained that position, and so they automatically start with either low hips or very high hips. Both of those we don't allow during the PSTs, and it's just not a good way to start doing push-ups or to do them at any point. As I talked about before, we don't want to see your elbows out to the side. Okay, this is a big mistake that we see a lot of people making. Bring those elbows in and think about pushing. Okay, if you were going to push a car or a person or anything out of the way, this is not going to be the best way to do it, right? You come in and you're pushing, getting everything as close as you can. So if I'm here, I want to think about doing the same thing. I don't have to be locked in my elbows as close as I can, but I just want to track them back at a comfortable angle with something that's going to allow me to stay pretty tight. All right, so usually about, we like to say a 45-degree angle back, and then feet are together, and then just pushing back up in that same hollow position. We're spending a lot of time and energy on the way down can be a bit of a waste. All right, now, there are some points and some times where it's very useful, but we'll get into that during the variations. But for generally just for the push-up, dropping down is where you want to get that speed. So the more time and energy you spend lowering yourself to the ground, that's going to use up a lot of your energy. Okay, so don't spend too much time lowering yourself. That doesn't mean you crash to the floor, but control yourself down, and as soon as you hit the ground, a good cue is to push the ground away, right? So instead of pushing your body up, push the ground away, just with your upper body, using your core, squeezing your butt. All right, so ways to train for the push-up. Again, this is only if you have that body position and you're able to do a few push-ups, continuously holding that position without breaking it. But some of the things we like to do are Tabata push-ups. So Tabata push-ups are great. They're extremely tough if you're going all out. A Tabata is a type of interval training that it's 4 minutes long, it's 8 rounds, it's 20 seconds of work followed by 10 seconds rest. 8 rounds in a row for a total of 4 minutes. So you do 20 seconds, as many push-ups as you can, 10 seconds rest. You continue to do that until the 4 minutes is up. You get a minute rest. You can do a few rounds of that, but I'd throw in some other exercises because by the end of that 4 minutes, you'll be pretty smoked. But that's a great way to train push-ups, along with every minute on the minute drills. So find a number that is not your max, but find a number that's dialed back a little bit and set a time. So set a time, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Every minute, you're gonna do X amount of push-ups. Okay, so kind of similar to a Tabata where you're gonna get the work, the rest, the work, the rest, that interval, but it's up to you how it's more based on the numbers rather than the time in this instance. So that's every minute on the minute drills. They're great. Also finding a number or picking a number, say 100. This is a good either goal, or if you are already very proficient with the push-up, a good little thing to throw into your training is 100 push-ups for time, but the key is you cannot break that plank position. So what it does is it teaches you how to pace. This is extremely important for the PST, because in the PSTs for the camps, the 20Xs and the Kokoros, if you put your knees on the ground or your hips in the air, if you break that plank position, then that's where your numbers end. So what happens is you pick a number, let's say 100, and then you have to pace it out to where you will be able to continue holding that plank position, right? I'm more interested in the guy who can go for 5 minutes holding that plank position, even if he breaks after every 10, takes a breath, than someone that can do 50 right off the bat, but then he's smoked, right? So it kind of teaches you how to pace and how to continuously be in that position. Now we're going to show you some of the variations that we have for the push-up, some different ways of doing it, some different ways of training. So we got Dylan here. Dylan's going to help us out. First thing we're going to do is the tricep push-up. So Dylan's going to get down. Now there's 2 hand positions that he can go off of. One is slightly internally rotated, but he's still going to keep his elbows tracking back. Okay, so just because his hands are pointed in doesn't mean that his elbows are going to point out. So elbows are still going to point back. He's going to go down, keeping them tight just like that, pushing all the way back up. Now the other variation, you can just have your fingers pointed forward. Hands are just going to be closer in. And again, elbows are going to be going back like so. Thank you. You can rest. So that's a tricep push-up. I'm just using a lot more of the tricep than the chest when real wide. Now that leads us to the wide push-up. So wide push-up, just how it sounds, he's going to have the opposite, so he's going to have a much wider set. Now from here, he's going to lower himself. His elbows are still going to be tracking at that same angle, about 45 degrees. He's going to touch his chest, and he's going to come all the way back up to full extension. Okay, one more time. Good. Perfect. Thank you. Now we have the dive bomb push-up. So dive bomb, this is getting a little bit more difficult. So he's going to start in a pike position. His butt is going to be in the air. And then what he's going to do is he's going to pretend like there's a PVC right in front of his head. And he's going to try and get his entire body underneath that PVC and up over the other side. Perfect. And back around. Awesome. Thanks. So that one is one of the few times that we'll allow the hips in the air and the hips down. That is the dive bomber push-up. All right, one of the keys there is he is trying to stay as close to the ground as he can on the way down and on the way back. All right, now the weighted push-up, just how it sounds. You grab some weight. We like plates. Gonna grab a buddy, put it on the upper back. So keep it off the lower back, keep it on the upper back, and he's gonna go all the way down, full range of motion. So, and one more. Perfect. Plyometric push-up. So he's gonna get down to regular push-up position. He's gonna go all the way down, and then he's gonna explode off, getting his hands and his feet off the ground. Perfect. Thank you. All right, now we're going inverted. So inverted, you can monitor yourself. You can scale it however you need to, just by height. But he's going to have his feet elevated and his hands on the ground. So that could be a 25-pound plate. So it could be like an inch or 2 inches, or it could be all the way up to a bench. And then it's just a regular push-up. So he's going to bring himself down. There you go. Perfect. all the way down until his chest hits the floor and back up. Rest. Nice. All right, so now we have the Superman push-up. Also, it's just basically an uneven grip. So one arm's going to be slightly in front of the other, and you're just going to go down, and everything is going to apply as a regular push-up. Same traction. He's going to switch arms. Chest hits the floor, back out to full extension. Perfect. Now we have one leg push-ups. So one leg, just how it sounds. He's going to keep that same plank position the whole time. The only difference is he's going to have one leg off the ground. So if there's one leg off the ground, it's going to incorporate a little bit more core. You're going to have to stabilize a little bit more. So he's going to come down. And now he's going to keep both legs straight. So just because it's off the ground doesn't mean that he's bending that knee. He's going to keep it straight, and then he's going to come down into that regular push-up. Perfect. He's going to switch sides. Good. All the way down, all the way up. Perfect. All right, now very similar to the plyo push-up, we have the clapping push-up. So same idea. You're just getting all that momentum exploding off the ground, but he's going to keep his feet on the ground this time. And instead of just his hands leaving the ground, he's going to give a clap and plant him back on the ground. All the way down. There you go. Keep your feet on the ground. There you go. Perfect. Good. Just like that. All right, so going into deficit push-ups, you're going to grab either plates or just really anything that's going to elevate your hand position, but keep your ability to go through full range of motion to the floor. So these are 25-pound plates. We can have 45. We can start stacking plates to get as high as you need. You're just going to go down all the way till his chest hits the floor and back up. So it's just a longer range of motion. All the way down, all the way up. Perfect. And relax. All right. And then last but not least, we have the negative push-up or the eccentric push-up. So as we talked about earlier when we were talking about how to conserve the energy when you're doing a push-up by not spending a whole lot of time on the way down, that's actually exactly what we're going to do here. So this is great for building strength in the push-up, strength in the upper body. He's going to come down. And he's going to do a regular push-up. The only difference is he's going to take 4 to 5 seconds to get down to the bottom. Okay? So everything is going to be slow and controlled. He's holding that plank. Get down, and then he's going to explode up. Just like that. Just like that. Good. Nice. Good. All right, now getting into the scaling options. So things that you can be doing to work yourself up to the regular or the standard push-ups that we have. All right, and then we'll get into the variations that we went over. So one place to start is the ring push-ups or the TRX push-ups, whatever you have. But we're going to do them a little bit differently. So Dylan's going to come on over, grab the straps, and he's going to walk himself forward till he's at whatever angle works for him. So this is universally scalable. You can go ahead, you can literally walk yourself into any scaling position you want. If he walks his feet back, it's harder. If he walks his feet forward, it's going to make it a little bit easier. But from here, everything's going to apply. So he's just going to go down, full range of motion, elbows tracking back, and push back up. Now, if you look, he's keeping the same plank position as if he was on the ground. So he's not sacrificing any of that. He's just going to go all the way down and push up. Perfect. Another thing that we can do for scaling on the push-up is just elevate the hand level. So instead of being even on the ground, we're going to elevate where his hands are, and this is going to help him out as well. So he's going to go down, keeping that plank, elbows tracking in the right direction, coming all the way down, all the way back up. So this, just like the ring row option, is scalable, so you can continuously raise or lower where your hands are, your hand position. From there, it'll make it easier the higher it is and harder the lower it is. All right, so there's just about everything you need to know about the push-up. Just like anything else we do, it's a practice, so you got to do it. You got to put the work in, and then you'll see the results. If you have any questions, please let us know. We'll be happy to help you. See you guys on the next one.